For the offensive, the nationalist side had the Italian CTV, around 30,000 men strong, and 20,000 men of the Spanish nationalist Soria division. The Republican forces covering the front lines at the beginning of the battle were those of the 12th Division, around 11,000 men commanded by Nino Nanetti. This unit was formed by 5 mixed brigades. Cooperation between the Spanish nationalist forces and the CTV was extremely poor. As a result, a fixed boundary or separation line was set, marked by the course of the Badiel River. The Italians were to advance in the area between the Badiel and Tajuña rivers. This area included the best road in the campaign area, the main road leading to Guadalajara, but it also included large wooded areas and hills. Significant mountainous terrain surrounded the important objective town of Brihuega. This terrain certainly benefited the defenders, and critical to the success of the Italian advance was also the capture of Torija on the main road to Guadalajara. Meanwhile, the Spanish Soria division was to advance on the west side of the separation line. Its initial objective was the town of Jadraque. Continuing in a southerly direction were the important objective towns of Cogolludo and Ita, this town on a secondary road leading also to Guadalajara. The CTV consisted of 4 infantry divisions plus several independent units of light tanks and artillery. 3 of the 4 infantry divisions were what is called black shirt divisions, or divisions of volunteers, basically members of the Italian Fascist Party, and their officers were non-professional soldiers. These divisions gained some fighting experience in the Ethiopian campaign. The Fiamme Nere, or Black Flames Black Shirt Division, was tasked with spearheading the attack. The Pene Nere, or Black Arrows Division, enters the game in turn 2 and has the mission of relieving the Black Flames and continuing the attack in the direction of Guadalajara. The Dio lo Vuole Black Shirt Division enters the game on turn 3 and will act as a reserve, as well as the Littorio Division, which is the only regular Italian army division in the CTV. This division enters the game on turn 4. The CTV also had various support units of armored fighting vehicles and artillery. The Comando Reparti Specializzati was a unit of light Ansaldo tanks commanded by Colonel Carlos Rivolta. This unit also had some light tanks armed with flamethrowers. In addition, the CTV had a substantial number of motor transports and artillery. The Spanish nationalist forces, represented by the Soria division, had the mission of covering the right flank of the offensive. This division was commanded by General José Moscardó, the hero of the siege of the Alcázar of Toledo. This unit is an overstrength division, and its forces in this campaign are those of its 2nd Brigade under the command of Colonel Marzo. Marzo's brigade has around 20,000 men and is composed of 3 infantry groups, those of Colonels Sotelo, Villalba, and Aldecoa, plus a cavalry group under the command of Pita de Vega. On the Republican side, in addition to the 12th Division, the Republicans have the crack 11th Division commanded by Major Enrique Lister. This was a key Republican division that was relied upon in many emergencies on the Republican side. This division was composed of 4 brigades, and most of its soldiers were ardent communists. In addition, there's the 14th Division commanded by the anarchist Cipriano Mera. As a reserve, the Republicans had the 33rd Infantry Brigade and Pavlov's brigade of T-26 tanks, tanks which were superior in every respect to any tank the nationalists could put on the field. The Guadalajara offensive was part of a plan to surround Madrid and force it to surrender. The nationalist plan was for the CTV to advance towards Guadalajara along its designated sector, between the Henares River on the right and the Tajuña River on the left. Meanwhile, Marzos' Spanish brigade would cover the Italians' right flank. The offensive was planned to take place in 3 stages. In each of the stages, an Italian division would be relieved by a fresh one. The first phase was entrusted to the Black Flames, reinforced with various independent units. This division was to advance to a line formed by Argencillas, Ontonares, Cogollor, and Masegoso. Upon reaching that line, the second stage began, and in this stage the black arrows would relieve the black flames, and they would drive towards Guadalajara. This division was aided by a large number of lorries, light tanks, and artillery. In the third phase, the black flames would cover the Italians' left flank around Ontonares and relieve the black arrows at Masegoso and Brihuega. And so much for plans, because plans, after all, are just that, plans. And they're the first thing to go out the window once bullets start flying. The Battle of Guadalajara is about to begin.